Amid today's bombshell announcement that Joe Biden will not be running for a second term, he immediately came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. Kamala herself has now issued a statement that has rocked the political world. Quote, "On behalf of the American people, I thank Joe Biden for his extraordinary leadership as President of the United States and for his decades of service to our country. His remarkable legacy of accomplishment is unmatched in modern American history, surpassing the legacy of many presidents who have served 2 terms in office. It is a profound honor to serve as his Vice President, and I am deeply grateful to the President, Dr. Biden, and the entire Biden family. I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau. We were friends from our days working together as attorneys general of our home states. As we worked together, Beau would tell me stories about his dad, the kind of father and the kind of man he was. And the qualities Beau revered in his father are the same qualities, the same values I have seen every single day in Joe's leadership as president. His honesty and integrity, his big heart and commitment to his faith and his family, and his love of our country and the American people. With this selfless and patriotic act, President Biden is doing what he has done throughout his life of service, putting the American people and our country above everything else. I am honored to have the President's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win this nomination. Over the past year, I have traveled across the country talking with Americans about the clear choice in this momentous election, and this is what I will continue to do in the days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme Project 2025 agenda. We have 107 days until Election Day. Together we will fight, and together we will win." All of which is to say, Kamala's in. And it's not just in rhetoric. She's now officially filed to run for president, and she has the over $100 million Biden-Harris war chest at her full disposal, meaning this race is official and she's going to be the Democratic nominee, and she'll have the funds to ensure that every American knows the stakes of this election. The left has wasted zero time coalescing around Kamala Harris, racking up endorsements by the minute. Pelosi, Clyburn, the Clintons, Emily List, the Congressional Black Caucus, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and probably 100 more people and groups by the time you watch this. And if you want to know why the surge in enthusiasm, well, here's an ad that she ran in 2020 that might be especially effective against Donald Trump in particular.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Grab him by the...
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
Not for nothing, but if I was a convicted felon, the last person I would want to go up against is a prosecutor. Just, for starters. In fact, Kamala is so effective that if you look back to her previous campaigns, she even received the support of one Donald Trump. That's right, thousands of dollars from Trump to Kamala Harris in 2011 and 2013. That's how good she was, that the guy running against her donated to her previous campaigns. Hell of an endorsement for Kamala. In fact, it's already become clear that Trump himself doesn't know how he's going to run against her. This was his first foray into trying to attack Kamala at his last rally, and didn't exactly go off too well.
From the moment we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden and Kamala, I call her Laughing Kamala. You ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. You can tell a lot by a laugh. No, she's crazy. She's nuts. She's not as crazy as Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy.
If the best that Donald Trump has is some tepid attack about her laugh, then he really isn't prepared for this race. And here's why this is especially damaging to Trump. Had Biden stayed in, the next 4 months of this race until November would have been a referendum on Biden's age. Now that Biden stepped aside, the next 4 months are going to be a referendum on the issue that Kamala has focused on more than any: abortion rights. She has been touring the country for the last year advocating for this issue, the one issue that has been responsible for Republicans' election losses even in deep red states like Kansas and Ohio and Kentucky and Alabama. Abortion is a killer for Republicans, and Democrats just elevated someone who has been the party's top spokesperson on the issue to the top of the ticket. If I was a Republican, I'd be worried. In fact, here's what it looks like when Kamala is given the opportunity to prosecute that issue in particular. Moving over to the issue of Dobbs, of abortion, June 24th is going to mark the 2-year anniversary of Dobbs. Republicans just this past week blocked a vote in the Senate to guarantee access to contraception, with only Murkowski and Collins crossing over. Can you speak about, I guess, as clearly and definitively as you can, what it would mean for contraception if Trump and Republicans took over?
I think that there is, when you look at the blueprint for this, there are a couple things you can understand in terms of who's to blame and what's happening. You can look at the former Trump presidency, right? Former President Trump's presidency, and when he was presented with the notion of a national ban, said that he would support it and sign it if it came to his desk when he was president. He hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade.
And it's bragged about that.
And they did as he intended, and he has since bragged about how proud he is of what he did. I also would point to the decision that court rendered undoing the protections of Roe, taking basic freedoms from the American people. Clarence Thomas, a member of the United States Supreme Court, said the quiet part out loud in that decision, which is that contraception was very much on the table, not to mention Obergefell. So regardless of one's gender, this issue of the taking of a fundamental freedom, the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, impacts everyone. And just sit back and think about it again. The notion that in our lifetime, just in the last 2 years, a basic freedom, literally about house and home, about the freedom to make decisions about your own body has been taken. If that's taken, I would suggest everything is on the table. And for that reason, everyone should be concerned and vigilant about fighting to protect freedoms. See the stakes at hand and at play in this election in 2024. Because believe you me, if Donald Trump is president again and a national abortion ban hits his desk, odds-on favorite, he signs it. And for all of our friends in California and New York and all these other states that have protected this freedom, don't get too comfortable.
Right. A nationwide ban on abortion is a nationwide ban.
A nationwide ban on abortion is a nationwide ban on abortion.
So the message to Democrats, to independents, to pro-democracy Republicans is abundantly clear. Let's rally around Kamala Harris, around her message of reproductive freedom, around her message of accountability for criminals, and let's win this election to ensure that Donald Trump never steps foot in the Oval Office again. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.